What is up, everybody? It's Ashton Phoenix. Welcome back to Main Street Magic 1901. I'm at Hollywood Studios today. It's a nice day. Well, I was going to say it's a nice, beautiful day as the sun is beating down on me, but it really is. It truly is a nice day today. It's very nice out. Let's see what the temperature is. It is 72 degrees, so not terrible. Not a terrible day out today. But I'm enjoying the weather. I've got a nice strip of sweat down my back, but that's okay. But I thought today I would do a little story time. And I thought, what better place to talk about plastic surgery than Hollywood Studios, am I right? And you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? What are you getting at? Well, for a long time, I'm trying to think of how I begin this story. Hollywood, we'll start with that, Hollywood, and the pressure that it has on women. And I'll say men, actors as well, but I would say probably mostly women. The pressure to feel like you are beautiful. Everything about you is perfect and flawless. Your nose, your face, your lips, the girls, the body, all of it. There's this pressure to look incredible and amazing at all times. And I will say as a performer, I'm constantly aware of how I look, if I have RBF, if I don't have RBF, am I smiling, am I not smiling? And so these are all the things that we think about all the time, is how we look. I mean, we're on stage, we're getting headshots made. Of course, we're going to be hypercritical of how we look, right? And the same goes for film actors, television actors. They're constantly talked about their looks. Now, my entire life, I've never liked the way my nose looked. Always hated it. And I always wanted a rhinoplasty. I always wanted a nose job because it was big, it was crooked. I just feel like it wasn't very feminine, didn't fit my face. And, you know, I thought, well, I'm never gonna have it because that's a very expensive procedure. I'm never gonna be able to do that. And when I got my first Disney contract, and you are looked at to be friends with a princess, there is a literal book. Okay, well, I gotta take my wristband off here. There's a literal book, a lookbook, if you will, that's like, all right, let's see how you look and compared to this princess that we are thinking of having you be friends with. And so they open it up, they turn the pages, they look at you, turn this way, that way, look up, look down, all these things. And I got turned down for face character. I still performed in the shows, but face character, autograph signing, I was denied. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's my nose, it's my nose. At the time, I was never concerned about weight. Weight was never a thing I thought about until now that I'm older, which is ridiculous, but I never thought about weight, but I did think about how I looked in clothes. It was more about how I looked and not how much I weighed. So I never looked at the scale. That was never a thing. But my nose has continued to bother me for years and years. And finally, like 2020, I couldn't smell anymore. I couldn't breathe. My nose was constantly plugged. And I thought, okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. I think I'm ready to have a nose job years after 2020. So in 2023, I said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to make an appointment. And I ended up going to Beverly Hills with my husband to a surgeon who I had been following for years. I'd been following him since like 2018, 2019. And I went to Dr. Richard Zumalin in Beverly Hills and I had a consultation. I had to pay a $500 deposit for the consultation. We flew over. Luckily, it was just an hour flight. We flew over. We went, did the consultation. He said he could help me, and I told him, you know, I still want to look like me. I don't want a Barbie nose. I don't want a tiny little tip nose. I still want to look like me, but I want to look like a better version of me. And he told me he could do that for me. And I saw the price. I ended up calling Dr. Nassif from the one show, you know, I want to be perfect. And where people had botched surgeries and they would go and get fixed. His price point was about $40,000 starting, and it could go up from there. And I thought, there's no way, that's completely out of my budget. And at that point, I kind of had an idea of what Dr. Zumalin was, but not fully. So we went home in January, and I said, you know what, babe? How am I going to make this happen? I had a pity party. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford this. I had enough money in my 401k from my previous job to cover a majority of it, but I still needed more funds. And I ended up applying for Care Credit. I was approved, and I scheduled the appointment. I said, you know what? I'm done waiting. I'm ready to do this. And so I scheduled the appointment before my birthday, and I did it in May. I had the surgery, and I will say it is the best decision I've ever made. I always joke with people that my 401k is on my face, but I'll insert a picture of what I look like before the surgery. But botched. That was the show, right? Botched. Hello, brain. Works in funny ways. But I had the surgery, and it took a good probably 1.5 to 2 years to really see the full final effect. I am approaching 3 years this year, and every time I look in the mirror now, I am just so happy with the decision I made, because before I had it done, I was quite mean to myself. I would look in the mirror and I would say really mean things to myself. Wow, you're really ugly. This is such an ugly nose, and really degrading things to myself, which obviously isn't good. But now I look at it and I'm like, wow, I actually take photos in different angles now that I never would have before, because I'm so much happier with it. But then I would always turn to one side because I liked one side better than the other. And I would say about a year after, I still had some reservations because I was still healing, and I'm like, I don't know, like it still feels a little crooked to me. The tip feels a little crooked to me, and I think that's just the way I healed, which everybody heals differently. It has nothing to do with the doctor's technique. It has everything to do with my body and how I'm healing from the procedure. So, I mean, it's perfectly straight, but the tip at some times can make it look like it's a little off angle. I have this little divot right here that it's not my favorite, but looking back at old photos, I did have it before. I did have it like that. It just was in a different structure, so I don't think it was as noticeable to me as it is now. And that's fine, because I look at it and I go, you know, it's not perfect, and that's okay, because it suits me. And when I tell people that I've had one, they're like, wait, I never would have thought you had a nose job. Like, it looks normal to me. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look normal and natural. Like, wow, that's the nose you were born with. And that's what a lot of people think. And I love that. It's really busy here today. It's busier than Epcot was. So for me, I'm happy with that decision. But talking about plastic surgery and Disney, no. So I didn't get a nose job for Disney. I had my regular nose when I got the job. My singing obviously got me the job. But, oh, there's some construction. That is not coming from my backside, just letting you know if you can hear that. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, maybe I should wait to get past this. But I know of some girls who got rhinoplasty so they could be a princess, which is just crazy to me. Like, I didn't do it for the job. And I wouldn't have then. I did it for me because I was so uncomfortable in my own skin that I had to do it. But I know some girls who got rhinoplasty and botched because I think they were in such a rush to do it. And it's either like too skinny and they hate it, they're upset they did it. I am so grateful to Dr. Richard Zumalin for what he did. He took great care of me. His team took amazing care of me. And throughout the entire process, I felt really good about it. I didn't get purple at all. I didn't bruise at all. I got a little yellow, I'll try to throw in some clips to show you, but I didn't get yellow. It was a really great experience for me, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I had thought about going back to fix this little thing that I'm not digging and the tip a little bit, but you know, I'm like, that could just create more problems. And I also think it's still partially that mindset. It's like when people lose a lot of weight, they still feel like they're stuck in that fat body. And I think sometimes that's the mindset I have with me and my nose. It's like I'm still stuck in my mind feeling that way, even though it's not the case at all. But you think about the celebrities who have had plastic surgery, like Jennifer Grey. She's a big one. Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She's known for those films, and her nose, it was so iconic. And it was like, oh yeah, Jennifer Grey, you know? Everybody knew her. And then all of a sudden she had a nose job and nobody recognized her. Nobody knew who she was. And she stopped getting roles. And, you know, I see these comments online that are like, oh, if she had just left it alone, she would be getting roles. If she had just left it alone, or, you know, she was fine the way she was. She was. But unfortunately, during that time frame, she was probably told all the time, you're not pretty enough, you're not good looking enough, you need to fix your nose. I mean, that stuff was said to actors, you know, back in the day. I'm sure it still happens now. You're too fat. You're not fat enough. You're too skinny. You know, all these things. If you're not one, you're the other. If you're the other, then they want you to be the opposite. And that's how I felt it was for me growing up too. I would lose out to brunettes for roles. I'm like, wait a second here. I'm a blonde. Like I should be getting these things. And I would lose out to brunettes, so I dyed my hair. And then I started losing out to blondes. And you know, looking back, it was probably a me thing. I probably didn't have the skills and talent at the time to get some of these jobs, or I just wasn't right for the moment. But it's such a hard industry. And I don't think people understand the criticism that you face every day as a performer. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're never good enough. And you just have to believe in the talent that you have to get you there. And at the end of the day, I did my nose for me because I didn't like the way it looked. And now I'm very happy with it. I didn't do it for anybody else. I didn't do it to get jobs. I did it because I knew deep down I needed to have it done because I was so unhappy. And Jennifer Grey may have done it because she was told many times. Or maybe she was like me and felt, you know what? I don't like this. I'm getting rid of it. She's still beautiful. It just sucks that sometimes you can't win. You know, you think you're doing what's right for you, and then you just can't win. And you're not going to make everybody happy. And that's okay. The only person who needs to be happy at the end of the day is yourself. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But in Hollywood, cut them some slack. You know, they deal with a lot of criticism. And it's tough. You try to be this person that you're not sometimes to fit in. And then when you do, you're not unique enough. I would say one of the big things that's maybe changed is teeth. I think teeth used to be a big thing, but forgive me, I don't know the actress's name from White Lotus. Oh, it's so dark in here. The actress from White Lotus, the British gal, and what you would call buck teeth. They worked for her, and I'm so glad that she kept her teeth and has never changed them because they suited her so well and her character, and that's just who she is. And without that, I don't think that the show, at least her character, would not have done as well as it did if she didn't look like that. And you know what? I love that. Kudos to that. Well, there's a quick little rundown. God, it's so loud. I wonder how many people are at guest services complaining about the noise, but which would be ridiculous, by the way, if they were. They're just enhancing the magic. But if you want surgery and you feel like it is going to make you feel better about yourself and you're doing it for you, I fully support it. Whatever that may be, I support it, because if that is what is going to get you through and you're like, yep, this is it. This is me, friends. This is me now. Do it. Don't let anybody hold you back. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about yourself. Find a good support system and you'll be just fine. But on that note, everyone, I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me on my brief discussion about rhinoplasty and doing what you feel you need to do to make yourself feel better. And do it for you. Nobody else. Even if it's not plastic surgery, if it's something else. If it's a goal or a dream you have, you want to be an actor, people make fun of you, do it. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong that you can do it. If you want to be an archaeologist, do it. Whatever your dream is, go for it. Don't let anybody else stop you. This is your life, not theirs. We don't care what they think. Have an amazing day. I will see you all in the next video. Again, I'm Ashton Phoenix, Main Street Magic 1901. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.